As researchers try to find a COVID-19 vaccine, an ethical issue for Catholics has surfaced. Some research involves the use of cell lines from aborted fetuses. Joining us now to discuss this issue is Kansas City Archbishop Joseph Naumann, chair of the Committee on Pro-Life Activities for the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. And Archbishop, scientists are right now conducting human trials on vaccines using cell lines from aborted fetuses. Why is this an ethical problem for Catholics?
Well, obviously, all of us want a vaccine, and we want one as soon as possible. But we also want a vaccine that's developed ethically. And unfortunately, there are some cell lines that are being used in some of the vaccines that are being developed that were recovered from aborted fetuses. Now, there are other cell lines that can be used. It's not necessary for the pharmaceutical companies to use the cell lines from aborted fetuses. So our appeal to the FDA is to, yes, get us a vaccine as quickly as possible, but also get us one that is not ethically compromised.
All right, well, everyone, as you said, wants to protect themselves from this virus and wants a vaccine. Well, what if a vaccine is discovered using this method? What advice would you give to Catholics?
Well, again, I think now's the moment while it's being developed that we should be advocating and for an ethically developed one. If, we receive a vaccine, if the vaccine is developed and it does use an aborted fetus cell line, where there is precedent where if there aren't other vaccines available and it is a threat to public health, where Catholics could use this, but as they use it, they must register a protest and again insist that an ethically developed vaccine. I think the problem is that this is used by some who promote abortion to say, well, look, we need abortion so that we can have these vaccines, and it's not true.
Right.
We can develop these vaccines without using these cell lines from aborted babies.
And as you know, abortion centers remain open for business during the crisis while other medical procedures are being postponed. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's very ironic, and it's not just that they're remaining open, but they're really exploiting the fears, both the health fears, but also the economic fears that some women are under a great amount of pressure at this time. So I'm grateful that our crisis pregnancy centers continue to serve at this time, and we encourage anyone who's pregnant and experiencing difficulties and anxieties to reach out to one of our crisis pregnancy centers. There's a whole community that's ready to help you and to stand by you with whatever problems or challenges you face.
Sure. And the head of Planned Parenthood says this pandemic may have what she's calling a silver lining: increased access to chemical abortions provided through prescriptions. What do you think of that?
Well, if you saw the movie Unplanned, I thought one of the most difficult scenes in that movie was when Abby Johnson had a chemically induced abortion. And it showed that this is not an uncomplicated and simple event in a woman's life. In fact, it's more traumatic that they're in isolation. They don't know if they're going to survive it. And it's not a solution. It's still killing the child, and it's not safe for women either.
All right, Kansas City Archbishop Joseph Naumann, chair of the Committee on Pro-Life Activities for the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. God bless.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.